Okay, and we are back. So, day for me, a couple seconds for you. My uncle, well, wife's uncle, but my uncle too, basically, through marriage. After all his mishaps traveling to get over here to visit us, actually arrived. He got himself a new phone after dropping his old phone down in the porta potty that next to where his car broke down. And yeah, life stuff happens. But, considering what happened, he was handling it pretty well. So last time, yeah, which was a couple seconds ago for you guys. Or you. I don't know. I don't know who you are. Everyone was gathering up over here, but I might have to re-trigger some events for that to happen. What is this? Yeah, it looks that way. Okay, well, let's see. Okay. I guess I will do this, and we'll get back to where we were. I don't remember if I triggered this event last time, so we're just going to take a quick look here. Group of shadows gathered up. 6 or 7 men stood in the sun, about a dozen yards from the ditch, and he could hear them laughing. He tried not to hear them. Instead, he listened to the shovel punching through the dirt as he shaped the trench. It was wet dirt, mud, really. It made a hungry sound as he shaped the trench walls. Glare from the noon sun made his sinuses tingle. The trench was a foot wide now. By the time he was done, he expected it to be about twice that and run most of the way from the middle of town over where it could drain off into the creek. The out-of-towner stuck his shovel into the dirt and squeezed the bridge of his nose. He sneezed, took a swig from his thermos. The laughter quieted into greedy chuckles, and he could feel the men approaching. Oh, interesting. So some out-of-towner decided to just come up and start digging a ditch to act as a trench to drain into the nearby creek? Is this karma what happened? Because in the let me butcher it, Un Pueblo de Nada intercal chapter, the one that takes place at here, they talked about something tragic happening to an out-of-towner. Maybe he was just trying to help, or maybe he was weird. I don't know. What if it was Weaver? No, I think it said he, so maybe not. Okay, I guess we're back to where we were. Yeah, I guess before I continue, quick summary. Let's call him Atlas. My wife's uncle Atlas came on by last night. That's when I quickly logged off. We hung out, prepped some corn and some burgers for him, and we hung out, caught up, told us about his trip to and then yeah, and we watched Chicken Run. I think that was the movie. All the while, my son is still fighting some pretty nasty viral infection of some sort. So that's been interesting. It's been a little bit taxing. I worry about him because, well, I'm his dad and there's not a whole lot I can do when he's sick. I can only just be there to support him through the pain. But yeah, we took him to the doctor and did all the things we were supposed to. It's just takes a while to heal. And then work was okay. Everyone went home early today. It was because it was too beautiful. It's too sunny of a day, I guess. So couldn't blame them. And then I just tried to get whatever I could done. And that was that. Okay. Let's continue then, shall we? Let's see what happens next. Okay, so this is it.
Well, the mailbox says 5 Dogwood Drive.
Is there any mail in there? Just don't open any that say final notice. Those are a secret.
Okay, I guess Emily is here, and I guess she saw us talking. So, and the thing is, for a while, I thought Emily was a ghost because Emily, Ben, and Bob, whenever Conway was interacting with them, had no luck having them hear him. But who knows? Maybe he's the ghost. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know why I'm interpreting it that way. It's just interesting. Okay, Emily.
It just showed up. The house.
Where did it come from?
Maybe it blew in with the storm.
Huh. Can you even really call this a house?
It feels warmer in here, somehow. Right?
Warmer and brighter.
It's actually quite spacious.
Yeah, you could fly a plane in here. Nice. Real nice.
What this town needs is a kitchen.
There's so much room, though. We could set up a whole studio.
And at night, we look at the stars.
I could set up a new workshop here. I could fix TVs again. Or whatever people need. Hell, I could fix toasters.
One could really fit a lot of books in here.
I kind of feel like I'm on stage right now, actually. Know what I mean, man?
Yeah. But who's the audience? Everybody's leaving.
You think more people will come? After these people leave?
People will come. Something about this place.
We saved what we could. Huh.
Hey cat, I'll race you. From here to that pile of mail. Okay? Come stand here. This is the starting line. Ready? Ready, set, go. All right. It's no shame to lose. I'm a fast runner.
So, is everyone gonna just live here now? They're all kind of outsiders and outcasts, and they're all lost, so maybe this is how they all get united, by just some random quest to deliver antiques to this weird address. But certainly someone has to live here, right? I don't know if I triggered this one before. Let's see what it says. More of the town's weird haunting history, I guess.
Rita tore up weeds. Elmo stood next to her with a bucket. She passed him the uprooted weeds, and he stuffed them into the bucket. They worked this way for a few hours. Dark clouds drifted slowly closer, but wouldn't arrive until evening. Rita and Elmo left to get some tea. The buckets of weeds sat warming in the sun. The dandelions wilted and the clovers dried. Some wayward insects continued to eat. When Rita and Elmo returned, they assumed the same roles and continued working. Their garden was coming along as well as they could hope, given months of neglect. When the plant shut down, the company abruptly pulled out of the area and took a large part of the town's population with it. This included the Carver family, who had tended this garden, the largest and most productive in town, for years. Now the garden would be cared for by a new family and feed what was left of the town and whatever it became next. They didn't know much about gardening, but they were prepared to learn on the job. They knew for sure they would plant tomatoes. Those had grown well from this garden in the past. Rita and Elmo worked until it started to rain. The rain washed their sweat into the dirt. This makes me think of how sometimes I go down YouTube rabbit holes, I like to call them, and one of them was about just abandoned places, abandoned little towns. You know, towns that had apartments, like nice homes, schools. And then, yeah, everyone for some reason or another left, and then these people just kind of explore them. To varying results, of course. Sometimes when people talk about these places, next thing you know, people discover them and they get vandalized, but, you know, some of them are interesting. Sometimes it's just, yeah, a piece of preserved history per se, you know, like some building that was just forgotten, could have housed like several people, and that was that. Because it's chatting, I'll just read it out loud. Yeah, I'd be worried about that too. Well, and it isn't just the rodents. The floors are mostly rotted, I think. You'd still fall through. I'm surprised they're still standing after last night. All the buildings? No. Most of them have good bones. It's just these ones the power company built that are rotten. Oh, okay. Yeah, and the power company moved in here a while back and set it up like their own little town. For the workers. But they didn't build them too good, huh? It's garbage. They couldn't be bothered.
I lived in that one over there, in fact, when I first came here to work at the power plant. Oh, yeah? I wouldn't set foot in there now, though. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. It's like a little community. Until finally it just gave away. Or gave way. But you did good work. It's not your fault. They didn't let you finish. That's all. If they let you finish, oh, forget about it. This place would be dry as bone. You always did good work. Maybe that's the out-of-towner who's digging the trench. It's a memorial. What's this? Curious meow. Ah, man, it's totally broken. Waterlogged tapes. They might still play. Who knows? But all the VCRs are shot. Sad meow. I don't even know where to put all this. I hate to call it trash. I wonder if that garbage truck still works. I guess that would be a bit of a loss, eh? Because so much of the town's history was, I think from what we learned from the last chapter, was just embedded in those tapes. And now they're all wrecked. I think we already did this one before. Click a different tangent here.
The image processor was a beautiful machine. James had inherited its care from another artist, reverse engineering it for maintenance with the help of a dusty photocopy tomb labeled The Distribution Religion. Rita learned just enough to make throbbing, hypnotic rainbows appear on the screen, which seemed to be the machine's favorite trick. She wondered what they used it for in practice. It wasn't quite the radical guerrilla television crew she dreamed of joining. This group seemed more interested in sharing the town's home movies than culture jamming and interfering with corporate stations. She liked that focus on local concerns. Ron's news was clearly bad news. Rita's heart sank a little as they listened. She knew things were unraveling, knew from experience what that looked like. Wouldn't it be nice to arrive at the beginning of something for once? But as she listened to Ron detail the power company's sudden withdrawal from town affairs, she heard other possibilities. Sounds familiar. These were people, Rita decided, ready to step out of the company's shadow and build something of their own. Yeah. So a little bit of a tangent, but it kind of ended the same. Maybe that's this game in a nutshell. I wonder if we'll make all these choices, but in the end it just ends how it's meant to. Well, I really hope we can help Conway, that's for sure. Junebug.
I still set up you got.
Yeah, it's all right. Many afternoons have come and gone right here, listening to the radio, taking a break from some maintenance work. What kind of bike do you got?
It's a custom job. The vicious cycle.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen those. Nice and light. Not light enough to fly, of course.
I guess you don't have much use for a bike in a town with no roads.
To tell you the truth, I've long suspected the reason Cass never wanted any roads here was just to keep the horses safe. And now...
Because now all the horses are gone.
Funny how you stick together. You still act like you're alone. What's a cat way, huh? Always alone together. Just like that old man we were traveling with. It seemed like it made him unhappy. But he thought he deserved it, I guess.
Hmm. Marianne clears her throat. Inquisitive meow. Well, hello. Marianne nudges Wanda gently. Wanda, time to wake up. Curious meow. Nope. Dead to the world. Probing meow. Just try again later, I guess. It's really cool. Where did you get it? Oh, it was just in my pocket. My jacket pocket. Is it special? It's exactly the one we need to play this game. 20 sides. Play board games? I had a D20 earlier that I picked up. I wonder if it's the same one. Weird. This game is just weird. You play board games? I'm more into screens, I guess. This was actually someone else's jacket. I'm sure he doesn't need that anymore. It's cool that it glows in the dark. Now we just need a dark place to play. Haha. My friend's uncle said we could use his basement? Perfect. I'll hold on to this. Don't lose it. I will guard it with my life. Now I'm just left with more questions than answers. Act 1, Conway goes into the basement of Equus Oils. Finds the 20-sided dice, hears these three talking about it. You know, finds it, and then they're not there anymore. Which is why I was like, oh yeah, ghost story, totally. But I guess that didn't actually happen. So part of me wonders if maybe some of the earlier acts before Conway gets his leg treatment, or I can't remember what that medicine is called. Neuropinol? Neuropin? That word. Just makes me wonder if maybe that whole loss of passage of time, maybe there was just It was happening from the start of the game.
So, there's really never been a road to this place? Why not? That's what I figured. Makes sense to me. I guess we could. But it sounds like a lot of work. Okay then. Guess we better get started.
Where's the dog? Where's Blue? Huh. Oh, did he drag the horse's corpses over here? Poor guy. He's probably not handling this well. No dialogue, but he's just there, hanging out. There's just a lonely shadow here. Can I interact? Nope. It's meditating. Does it work? I don't know. I think you want it here? No, it doesn't work. I could probably fix it. Oh. You could definitely fix it, man. And then you'd have a new robot friend. And then I'd have a new robot friend. A memory, perhaps? The cat thing to do. Clyde lay on his back on the runway, hands folded behind his head. Halfway between dreams in the afternoon sun, he entertained the momentary delusion that he'd survive a plane crash, and was vaguely unhappy when the dream faded. Coming into land, he slammed into a truck. The driver probably thought the runway was another road. The runway smelled like oil, years of leaky light aircraft taking off and landing. All the states said they wanted to knock down some trees, many trees, and build a road tying the small town to the larger web of streets and highways that entomb the rest of the country. It would bring in new goods, new people, maybe even some cash from tourism. Many of the residents supported the idea. Clyde and his inner circle of stunt pilots turned mail carriers knew that a road would be the end of their secluded paradise. I guess. Sometimes it's nice to have isolation, but sometimes it's nice to be connected to the world. But I guess it really depends on what you want, right? No, miss, they don't scare me at all. If you met them, you'd feel the same way, I'm sure. There's a very old one, nobody can quite figure her out, but I can't imagine she means any harm. I do my best to keep the roof mended. She doesn't like the rain. You're probably headed off soon, huh? Oh, geez, these are big choices. There be any point to stay here, though? Why would you stay here? This place is so sad. But it's tough. I don't know Clara as much as a character. And yes, it is sad, but I guess you can make something out of it. How easy is it to just pick up your life and move elsewhere. On the one hand, you can be anyone you want. Start fresh. Sometimes that's nice to just start over. But sometimes you have obligations. So I guess it really depends on what you want. Nothing's stopping you from being the same person you were 5 minutes ago. You can be anyone who you want to be. That's whatever. You can be whoever you want to be. If you want. It's up to you.
Beginning to think I might stay here. Is that ridiculous?
I'm glad to know someone will be around after we're gone.
Sounds like everyone else is just done with this place. Maybe it's okay to just leave. I don't know. Maybe all these characters are just looking for a place to call home. Some of these are really old. Maybe we should open them. Scolding meow. You're right, it's illegal to open up other people's mail. Haha. He says not to open other people's mail, kid. I know what he said. But if they're not here to even open it themselves? I won't tell a soul. We can find out who used to live here. Greeting meow. Oh, hi kitty. Chatty meow. Yes, it's a beautiful day. I guess the weather was pretty bad last night, though. Confident meow. You're a chatty one, aren't you? Fanciful meow. Sure, whatever you say. Curt meow. All right, well, take it easy. I think we've already done this conversation before, but yeah, I've done this one before. I'll just skip through it. Can't quite remember what choices I chose. I hope that was... I've been trying, every time I've continued this game and I try to recover lost progress per se, I just try to choose options I think were the right one. Home is where you make it. You can live anywhere you want in the world. It's up to you to find happiness where you're at, though. Because you can just pick up your life and go anywhere. Really, you can. But it's up to you to find happiness where you are. Basically at all times. It's not always going to be easy. But there's beauty in the world, and you just have to search for happiness. I don't think I have a voice for her, so I'll just read it as my voice. Would you believe it came to me in a dream? One of those dreams where you're lost somewhere kind of familiar and anonymous, like a bus terminal. Everyone else knows where to go, but you're really confused. I actually really relate to this. I have dreams all the time where I'm exploring a mall or like a library or something, and I swear it looks familiar, but then I just look at it in my dream anyway, slightly off, and I don't know where I'm going. And usually there's shadows that represent people in the corner of my peripheral vision, in my dream, if you can call it that. But I never interact with them, because I'm just too polite or courteous to ask for help, and then I just wander, going down familiar avenues of like places I used to live, lit up in like neon and streetlights. Never really certain what time of day it is. It's either too early or too late, but it never changes. And just walk past old gas stations that used to exist. Down old streets I used to walk by where friends of mine used to live and stuff like that. And then I turn around a corner and then suddenly it's just somewhere else. Marianne is quiet for a moment.
Your day off? Or is the bureau closed today?
Oh, was Marianne, she might have been the receptionist, so I probably do have a voice somewhere. Oh well. So people here work at the bureau? No, I'm on the clock. They sent me up here to help Wanda evaluate the site for reclamation. If it were up to me, we'd leave this place alone. Let it grow back on its own. You never know what will grow back after a place has been knocked down. Interesting. Well, I think I'm going to just pause for a little bit again, but not exit out. I'll continue playing, because I don't want to lose progress. I should check on my kiddo and see how he's doing with his sickness, and then maybe help put him down to bed tonight. So I will be right back. And hey, we are back. Just put my son down to bed, read him a couple stories, read him that Dr. Seuss The Places You'll Go book. Beautiful book. He's having a bit of a rough go at the moment. Yeah. But I let him know that mom and dad love him very, very much. And that will always be there for him, either metaphorically or literally. I think this is one I've already done before, this tangent here, so. It's a shame it didn't save it, but I guess I have to kind of time when I stop playing this game between acts. Heavier than they look. Sure. Everyone's heavier after they passed. It's only natural. The spirit has no weight. In fact, it lifts us up a little. Greeting meow. Oh, it's you again. Friendly meow.
Yeah, well, feel free to pitch in. Sure, this would go a lot quicker with two of us on it.
Argumentative meow.
Busy, huh? What? Left a sunbeam unslept in?
Parting meow.
Suit yourself. I'll be here.
She watched him. He walked deliberately, his eyes closed. He was already remembering the path. This was a path the seer had found in her scrying game. A series of private dice rolls and inscrutable diagrams. The community trusted this game. It had led them to fish-filled streams, intimate knowledge of the elements and the stars, even here to the Cenote sediment. They trusted it without understanding it, and now the game had revealed to the seer this vital route, which would lead them to safety before the next floods came. At the end of the route, she'd seen a safe, quiet place, caverns of leathery black birds, a lake of eyeless fish, a towering flame. Now, the diver walked the mounds, memorizing the route. He was almost ready. I guess it's just talking about the pathway downwards. Choppy seas today, Captain. Aye, Captain. Let's reinforce the sails. Reading an envelope. How about Greg Rabbit? Greg the Rabbit? No, like Rabbit is his last name. Well, there's no Greg or Rabbit here. Not anymore, at least. Great. Ezra opens the envelope. It's our privilege? Privilege. It is our privilege to inform you that your Apple application has been accepted. Your studies can begin as soon as you arrive. Good job. Yeah, good job, Greg. I hope he got the message eventually. I wonder what he studied. Artichokes. What? Oh no, architecture. With the way this game has all its individuals intertwined, I wonder if we've encountered a Greg before. At the moment, I'm not thinking about it, so I don't know. Well, not that I'm not thinking about it, I just can't recall. Yeah, it's interesting you can kind of see that the group wants to potentially stay here, but I don't know. I don't know if there'd be anything for them. Takes a lot to uproot yourself and just live somewhere else. I guess I'm just still thinking about it. There's a fan there, probably keep the place dry.
You know how long you have to be asleep before you can start dreaming. Sometimes I think I'm dreaming, even when I'm awake. Entirely possible. Even if you never go to sleep, you'll start dreaming on your feet. We used to pull some pretty long hours at the TV station, really pushing our limits. Sometimes it bled into the work. Yeah, we were pretty experimental. Just how we lived. For a while there. Whenever I make a decision, I never know what's going to happen next. Is that an experiment? Sure. Experimenting is abandoning expectation. You'd fit in right here. Sure, it's a mess right now. But there's some residual energy from those fearless experimenters that I don't think will ever dissipate.
And again, there's the whole could have people stay here for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be worth staying here. I don't know. What happens if they stayed here? I wonder. Is it worth staying here? Maybe it should just be left alone. But at some point, I guess you have to find a place to set your roots, right?
I'd stay here.
Junebug and Johnny walk up.
Oh, hi. Hey, aren't you...
Yes, I am.
We were talking about the people who built this. Is this your family?
Oh boy. Ezra looks at Johnny. Johnny looks at Junebug. Junebug looks at Ezra. Do our choices matter in this game? Were we always going to meet the same conclusion? I don't know. I'm going to say Junebug looks at Ezra. Because Ezra needs a home. think Johnny seems to have that willingness to care about people. So I guess it's up to her.
Trinbag looks at Ezra.
Oh, geez. The choices you can make are kind of tearing me apart. Yeah, that's right. This is my family now, or... Oh, just some friends. We met on the road, but I guess we'll split up. Probably. That's so sad. He's just a kid, man. Kids need... Kids need people. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, if Ezra were my kid, I'd want someone to watch out for him if I'm not around. So I'm going to go with this one, as biased as that may be.
Yeah, that's right. This is my family now.
Ron dug a grave. Hey, this book is in good shape. The City of Ladies. Interesting. No, I've never read it either. Inquisitive meow. Good question. Let's take a look. Here we go. Minerva. Circe. Sappho. I like the name Minerva for some reason. And some ladies from the Bible. Minerva. Nosy meow. I think they'll all get together and build a city. Sounds nice. I'll get us a bus ticket, huh? I'm just gonna bury the horses. A noble act. But a lot of work. "6 feet? That's the standard. Standard for people, anyway, but... maybe I ought to stick to the traditional depth out of respect." Just what are we burying here, anyway? Is it them or us? Or some mix of both? Well, I damn sure knew what... I knew damn sure what I was pulling out of the water. Just got so deep so fast. Shouldn't have been that deep there. And I know who to blame, I tell you what. If those greedy sons of... finished a drainage ditch when they were supposed to. I ought to hike through the woods and give them a piece of my mind. Yeah. They probably left because there was no money to be made or had. Oh, damn, there he goes. Can we go in after him? In the bushes? Yeah. After the raccoon? Yeah. No. But it's probably full of thorns. Yeah, but raccoon. It's not happening. Okay, okay. Oh, don't pout. Tell you what, if that raccoon comes back in town, we'll leave some food out for him.
Yes, ma'am. Hey. Hey, don't run in the graveyard. Why not? People are trying to rest. Annoyed meow. Agreed. Oh, I saw a giant shadow. I guess Julian's here. That's good. Julian the big-ass bird. Hey, maybe Julian can bring people from the Museum of Dwellings. They can live here. Have like a permanent home instead of a museum where people can just look at them. Oh, we've already done this one before. Last time I was playing. Oh, it looks like he fixed up the plane. Makes you wonder how long they've been here for. Passage of time is interesting when you're running around as this cat. I feel like it's a bit longer than you may realize. The brilliance of having the dragonfly as a mouse pointer is the cat's just chasing it, as a cat would. The only way this could be better is if it was a laser pointer. Oh, they've loaded up more stuff into this mysterious building. Clyde and Cass sat cross-legged in the shade of a light aircraft. Cass shuffled cards and Clyde absently flipping through a stack of unopened letters. Demand for aerial stunts having faded almost completely, and many of their company having died or aged out of the profession, Clyde and Cass found for the remaining pilots a steady flow of contract work delivering mail to remote rural areas. But this place was abandoned. Cass's cards predicted they'd be here for quite a while. I even lived in there for a bit. No way. Yeah. Too drafty. I moved out one winter and never looked back. It gets cold? Sure, when the sun is down. Nice old church, though. Really nice. Could make a nice workshop. There you go. I mean, from what we've learned about Shannon, she had a workshop, she was living in it, but she was barely making ends meet, and then when she was out with Conway, came back, well, the landlord changed the locks on her. So she had nowhere to go. Oh, what was Elmo's voice? I was trying to do discount Elmo voice for real, but then I changed the pitch of it. And ever since then, I think it was like a crow. And ever since then, I've been just treating it like a little cafe for Oh, sorry. Ah. Oh, man. Voices. I don't do.
Oh yeah? You like to cook?
Sure. I'd make you some waffles that blow your mind if the power was back on. If you want, and you promise to keep it a secret, I'll pass on my waffle recipe before I head out.
Why so secretive?
I just can't bear the thought of any son of a from that power company eating one of my waffles. Back before the power company pulled out, I was in fear of my life half the time. Wow, I know I'm not sticking around. You think you'll do anything with this place? Yeah.
We'll think of something. What are the acoustics like?
Yeah, I guess for some reason Johnny and Junebug are just robots. I don't know if it's ever really touched upon. "3A, lay paper flat. 3B, bring bottom left corner up to top right corner. 3C, crease with firm, steady pressure. Along diagonal fold." Nikki applied only gentle pressure. Looser flowers felt more alive. She rolled her wrist. It was the 6th hour of her assignment company store shift, and she made a dozen flowers. Ron had bought a bouquet and cleaned out their stock that afternoon. 11. Repeat steps 4A7 for each petal, taking care not to rip the filaments from step 9. She put Ron's bouquet down in the sales ledger as romantic bouquet, but really he was just buying in bulk at a small discount. Since the company started allowing resident workers to donate paper flowers to Aunt Connie for civic enthusiasm points, exchangeable for sick days, it had become kind of a shadow currency for local trade. A commotion outside caught Nikki's attention. Men yelling, blows landing. She put down her work and stepped out just in time to see the crowd disperse. A lot of pain and history in this town. I think I get it though, why they want to leave. Sometimes it's just, you need to have a fresh start. You know, Ezra, Johnny, Junebug, Shannon, and them, they could have a new start here if they want. If they want. If my choices actually impact them or not, I don't know. This game's very bittersweet, so we'll see what happens, but I get why everyone else would want to leave. I mean, I moved from where I spent most of my life, right? And I moved because, well, it was just the best option for me. Hand me that rag, wouldn't you? The one with the embroidered bird on it. This one? Does it have a bird on it? I think so. Don't you know what a bird looks like? Yeah, but it's pretty small. I thought it was some letters. I guess that could be a bird on there. Wow, it's a rag, ain't it? As long as it's a rag, I guess it'll work for mopping sweat. Yeah, it's a rag for sure. And you know, at first, when I left the old city that I grew up in for most of my life,
don't know. I had some reservations, but it ended up being the best thing that we could do at the time. It's kind of been, as silly as it may sound, I guess it's kind of just how I've lived my life. Just trying to make the best out of all my life's decisions at that current moment, right? Like, yeah. Like I went to university for some things, and yeah, I think we've already done this one before. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Context about someone called Fraser, and we don't know who that person was, or if they come back. Yeah, when I was younger, I went to university, and I didn't really... guess I didn't really know what I was doing. Got myself a nice degree, and I didn't really know what to do with it. There were things I could do with it, but it just didn't pay as much as I would have liked, or would have required some... what do you call it? What do you call it for when you're not really paid much, but you need it for the hours to prove that you can do something? I don't know. Some people can afford that. I just couldn't. I really like this knife, says Junebug. It has a aura. Know what I mean? An aura. Yeah. Like it wasn't exactly used to cut apples. It's meant for greater things. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. About 10 years ago, I would have been in university when I first played this game. Where are you going? Flying. Ha! I'm just checking to see if everything's working okay. You could fly her somewhere if you wanted to, though, right? Of course. So why don't you? Here we go. Keep your distance now. Is he gonna take off? Where would you go? I don't feel like it's going quite fast enough. Who's this? Oh, it's Wanda. Wanda into tape recorder. Part 4, subsection G, notes on inhabitants. Most have relocated already prior to the transitional event. Wanda to Shannon, resident or visitor?
Haven't decided yet.
I see. Well, you may have not much time. We've had our eyes on the site for years. Initial results are promising. I think this may be the moment we finally reclaim this ghost town.
And Rita never got as many bands to come up here as she would have liked, I think. But it was always a blast.
Sure. How does anybody find this place without any roads coming in?
Oh, they come up to the well from the river, like you did, if they can find it. That's the hardest thing about keeping an artistic community alive, just getting people to show up. I think the ceremony is around us.
Ceremony? Alright. The horses. Sorry. The neighbors.
But yeah, when it comes to like moving and leaving places and moving to or moving from, it's always changing. At least from what I've experienced, you know, moving to where I am now. It was a change for me. Some people wondered, why would you move here? I needed a change. And in some ways, I guess, like I was saying, I do miss aspects of where I used to live, but I think it was time because, gosh, I don't know. There's a lot of good things with where I used to live, but also just a lot of pain. And sometimes the best way to move is just to be somewhere else completely and let time heal you when you're just someone else, somewhere else, you know? That's okay. These two still chatting away or just looking at stuff? Don't know if I really need to look over here. This is where those macaws were. I guess I'll just toggle through it, just in case I need to do it for story progression. It's a long chapter. Or, sorry, a long scene. Yeah. One thing that was kind of a painful topic in my life. And, you know, it kind of bugged me for a bit. Just because of the feeling of failure when it came to it was just the whole going to university and putting myself in debt in the thoughts that, you know, it was a path I wanted and it would eventually result in, you know, in me having a good career path, but that's sometimes not how it goes. But it took me a while to eventually just kind of forgive myself and have trust in myself that, well, regardless of the attempt and regardless of the result, that I was still doing everything I could in my power to do what was best for me, even if things didn't line up as I wanted them to. Because of that, I don't know if I could really recommend things like college or university. At least if you come from a lower class family, right? Or if you come from poverty. So the only way to go to school is to put yourself in debt. Just unfortunately what I had to do. But that's okay. It's the choice I made, right? And I did get life experience out of it. And that's the thing about hindsight. You can be like, hey, wish I did things differently, but well, you are who you are today because of the choices you made along the way, or of just the events of your life. Sometimes you don't even have a choice. Sometimes you just play the hand you're dealt. And I know that's metaphorically cheesy and all that, but it's true. Like, You know, I know some people who just had an easier time than I did. And, you know, it's easy to be envious of that sometimes. It could be, but I'm not anymore. Because this, you know, this is my life. I can't change anything about that. Everyone's gathering right now for the horses. Just going to do a quick run around in case there's any other events that maybe I can quickly see or unlock. Just in case, right? But yeah, I guess I had gone to university. I worked really hard and turned out to do anything with it. I'd have to get a job that wasn't going to pay much or move very far away to do some sort of internship that also wouldn't pay as much, but could have had opportunities. And maybe I should have done it, but at the same time, I just wasn't ready to do that, and my options seemed very limited. Perhaps there's things I should have done before, you know, just diving into going to university like that. I should have spent some more time after high school to kind of work on myself, to work on my mental faculties and get to know myself a bit more. And I know that sounds strange, but you know, I had a lot of anxiety and depression that I've worked on over the years. But like I said, you know, I learned what I learned because I lived through it. And for a long time, I kind of wish I could change the past, be like, oh, you know, I wish I never went to university and, you know, made all these mistakes, but then I wouldn't be where I am today. And yeah, maybe it's not optimal where I am today in some ways, but, you know, I'm doing all right. I have I like my job. Maybe if I try hard enough, I can become a trailer mechanic if I challenge the test. So there's hope in that regards. And, you know, I'm a father and my son is the most important person in my life and I love him dearly. He makes me both strong and vulnerable. He makes me feel like I'm more capable than I really am because I will do anything for him. And at the same time, I'm powerless when he's sick. So that perspective has been quite interesting. You know, and my wife and I are doing all right. We make ends meet. Somehow scrounge up what we can to pay bills and a mortgage, despite the fact that we really shouldn't, given all our debt. In some ways we have a lot less than other people, and in some ways a bit more. It's kind of hard to gauge it, you know. There's definitely people way better off than me that have more, and there's people who make more money than me that make or that have less, I guess, if that makes any sense. We're lucky we have a mortgage. It's so stupid right now. It's so dumb. We're just so lucky. Like, I guess just to finish this tangent, because who knows? Maybe something will happen to me and this will be the audio log that my son gets to know stuff about me. But yeah, I had gone to university. It didn't work out. Worked whatever job I could. And then eventually I realized it just wasn't going to work out. I was in debt. And the logical thing was to just try to make more money. Whether it was through my university degree or whatever way I could. And then, you know, eventually I started working in warehouses and shops like that, and from one place led to another, and then I just kept going to see how high I could go in that company, and I learned a lot. I would say yes to things that I normally thought I wouldn't because I was ambitious. It wasn't necessarily what I had gone to school for. It actually wasn't at all. But you know, I did things that I never thought I would in my life, like, you know, management and like first aid stuff, getting out of my comfort zone to develop myself as a person. And yeah, and then We, early on in our life, more than a couple years ago, maybe almost 5 years ago, wife and I at the time got ourselves an apartment, a condo. I remember it was very hard. It was very hard to do it, but we did it. Got ourselves a mortgage. And at the time, I thought it was the dumbest thing that we could be doing, but my wife, being the logical of us two, insisted that we do it. And it made sense, because when we started running the numbers, we realized, hey, this would actually be cheaper than renting. I had been saving up an RSVP since I was 14. That's when I started working. Surprised I did that, to be honest. I was just putting money aside. I used that for part of the down payments. Had some money set aside from when I was in a car accident and messed up my back. Used that towards the payments as well. And yeah, some other savings here and there. We scrounged up. I worked a lot of overtime. And we made it work. And it was tough for a while, but it ended up becoming worth it. And then we ended up selling that place. After living there for several years, we used the equity to basically get another place that we also could barely afford, but it was the best option for us because at the time we were talking about maybe starting a family. And the only way to do that was to move even further away from where I grew up, which, I was anxious about. It would meant changing myself completely, but I'm glad we did because I needed to. At the time, I didn't have a license. Incentivized me getting my license and driving, even though I should have done it when I was way younger, but that's a story for another day. So then, yeah, we moved. The pang of envy that I was kind of talking about earlier was from the fact that the place, when we were selling our place, it was being sold to some 19-year-old. His mom was buying it for him. Whereas when the wife and I had bought that place, I think we were 27. So you can kind of look at that, like from 14 to 27, I've been saving up money to be able to even afford that. With not really any help from anyone, actually, to be honest. I think we had someone lend us maybe like $2,000. That was about it. The rest was from us just working so hard. Or just, circumstances like that payout I got from getting in a car accident. And this kid, yeah, it's just mom was buying it for him so he could go to university, which part of me was jealous, but part of me was like, you know what? That is cool that your mom could do that for you. And I hope that guy realizes how lucky he is, And on that note, right now, my wife and I are trying to save up money for our kid to hopefully be able to afford a place, because we realize it's insane to be able to afford a place. We lucked out when we got the place we're in now. Had we waited a month, actually, maybe even just 2 weeks, we would not have been able to afford it. We lowballed it. We were able to kind of just be like, hey, this is our budget. It's way lower than what you want for it. Can we and they took it, It's place we live in definitely has what's called the whatchamacallit? The landlord specialty, landlord treatment, where just things are painted over, got baseboard that has like plaster covered over it for some reason, where I guess maybe an animal clawed at it. But it's also, as a result, has caused me to grow as a person and get out of my comfort zone and try to repair the place slowly, bit by bit. So that's been good. And yeah, I'm kind of figuring things out, and also realizing when something's out of my control and power, and I should consult someone who knows what they're doing. certain things it's like, oh, you know what? This actually wasn't that hard. Just look at some tutorials and then just do it. That's the hardest part. But then some things it's like, okay, if I don't do this right, I might get electrocuted or, you know, I might cause some water damage. And so things like that I don't touch. Yeah, that's probably a little bit way too much information about myself. So, if you're still here, thank you for listening. I don't even know why I'm going on this tangent. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, reflecting on my life. Maybe this game brought it out of me because playing it now, played it 10 years ago, a lot has happened between that time frame. And you know, sometimes I do complain about the whole money thing, but I think I'm just going to always be broke my entire life. That's just, life's expensive. We're all like, well, I mean, a lot of people I know are like that. We're just struggling to get by, much like the people in this game. A lot of these people are just, I guess, the working class, just trying their best to make it. Right? So I'm just repositioning this cat because I think I want to take a little screenshot here. It's just a little squirmy. Go a little bit more forward. Okay, here. Let's do this. This will be the shot. Ready? Oh wait, I think I have to update that number. There we go. Ah, there we go. Well, maybe a little bit to the right here. Come on, cat. Oh, no, too far, too far. Well, you know what? We'll see what YouTube determines. Maybe we'll just stay here a while. Hey, thank you for listening to my tangent. I don't know why I shared all that information. It's just a little bit about myself, right? Not for any particular reason. I mean, when it comes down to it, any of the debt, any of the struggles I've ever had in my life, some of it wasn't because of me, but realistically, a lot of it was. And it's up to me to pull myself out of any sort of pit I dig myself in. And I'm doing okay. In the end, I'm doing okay. Just gonna keep working on it until things get better, and that's pretty much how it goes. And while I wish something came out of my university days, that's just life. That's just how it goes. It set me on the path where I am now, and I guess we'll see what happens, right? Let's continue, shall we? Thanks for listening.
Hey y'all. Thanks for sticking around for this. I know we've all got places to. Well, if anybody still needs somewhere to go, be sure and speak up, okay? I think Ron's heading through the woods tonight, back to the road. He wants a caravan.
Interesting. You staying, Em? Is there any reason for Emily to stay? I don't know. I don't know, so I'm gonna roll for it. That's what we'll do. Let me just grab a dice. Oh, shucks. How are you all stuck in there? Get myself a 20-side die. So, first option is odd. Second option is even. Let's see what we got. Looks like a 9.
Yeah, sure. I'll stay. I think we can build something here again. This place has good bones. But right now, though, I got some friends to bury. The neighbors. Nikki has a poem, and I have a song. If anyone wants to say anything, though, I'll go first. The neighbors were kind, gentle, beautiful horses. I used to go on walks with the silver one, out in the woods, Why did anybody ever give them names? The silver one. Well, I guess he was gray, but his coat looked silver in the light. So I always called him that in my head. And the other one is the other one. And I love these horses. But you'd never know it if you heard me talk about them like that. So, I'm sorry, silver one and other one. I don't have better names for you. You deserved better names. Also, sorry I'm mad at this. Anybody else have anything to say?
I've got something to say. I just want to say these horses used to crap on my floors. But it never bothered me too much. I never mentioned it to anyone. I didn't want to make a thing out of it. But if we're clearing the air, well, that happened and it's okay. I mean, recently, too. I was cleaning up horse crap just a couple days ago. But I'm saying it was okay. It would have been okay if any of you wanted to crap on my floors. I get you, Ron. I get you. You're putting up with, but you do it because you love other people. That's why you put up with. I would have cleaned up after any of you if you crapped on my floor.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah. You do things for people you love. That's just how it goes.
I was thinking about when all those canned carrots showed up in the mail. You remember all that? Somebody was calling around with some canned carrots they wanted to be rid of. I guess Consolidated Power got word of it. So these cans of carrots showed up in the mail, and we didn't know where they came from at first. I tried some out, no flavor to them. Some of them were gray, just awful. Rita said that it's still okay to eat, like sometimes carrots just lose their color if they sit in a can too long. But nobody wanted them, really.
I remember having canned carrots before. Canned diced carrots in like water. And they also had no flavor. That's a crime, honestly. Carrots are so sweet. They should be anyways.
Well, Aunt Connie came on TV with a message like, "Hope the horses are enjoying their treat." And we thought, okay, these are for the neighbors. Sure, horses love carrots, right? But the neighbors wouldn't touch them. Wouldn't even look at them. You'd think they were canned rocks. We opened a couple dozen and set them all out on the water trowel. And they were still there a day later. Even the raccoons stayed clear. And then, of course, Consolidated sent us a invoice for every can we opened. Already made out in company script. How do you like that? Okay, I guess we better move on. Nikki, you ready?
Thanks for sticking around. Like Emily said, it's so good to have you all here for this. I know some people had to leave already. I don't judge anyone for that. Maya, you and our other visitors might not know about our out-of-towner. He came here to work for the company, to dig a ditch. And the company worked him good and hard, and for less than he was worth. But it wasn't enough. They had to use him up completely. After that, they became ungovernable. First out of shame, then grief, then anger. This is a poem for the neighbors. That's also for this town. Yeah. We're gonna bury this town today. When I bury these horses. It's the same thing. We're gonna bury these horses. And what do you think will happen next? We'll all walk out into the woods and leave this place empty. No. I guess some of us might say build again. That's all right. It couldn't be me. But to try is your birthright. If you do stay, you'll be building on top of a grave. But that's true anywhere. The whole world is built on top of graves. Look for me under your boot soles, as the fellow says.
Nikki clears her throat and begins reading from the paper she's holding.
We all leave town and call that town a ghost. What ghost gave this town breath and made it home? And now that breath has gone, they buried it here. What's left is not a ghost. It's just the bones.
Nikki directs her attention at Shannon.
Our neighbors were the best of us, of course. It's always so. Our better selves, clear of ourselves, where we can see their glory glow. They glow now underground, our friends, with love. Our neighbors left us here, though not alone. But, staring at the clouds, my vision showed. Here, where we lay our town and friends to rest. Some other cherished folk. May yet someday a new and hailed grass grow.
Then we buried the horses.
I've heard of a land of joy and peace and wonderful life. A beautiful place of mansions fair and skies so bright, where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay. And having been saved by grace divine, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray. Just singing praises all For those who are still astray in sin, my Savior may know. I want them to sing that praise above some beautiful day. For glory to Him who died for me, I'm going that way. I know I shall meet Him at the gate when trials are past. I know I shall meet Him face to face in glory at last. Oh, I believe that when we meet, well done, He'll say. While trusting that soul redeeming love, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray. Just singing praises all day long. I'm going that way.
Damn. That was beautiful. Now what? These people are gonna just leave. From perspective on the town. I guess that's kind of the way it goes, where whenever you find a place or leave a place, there's always something, there's always a history to it. I feel like this game kind of captures that energy of places being haunted. I guess, yeah. This game does deal with the theming of ghosts and whatnot. Maybe not in a way that I initially thought, but... Oh, what are you guys up to? Guess this is the next phase. Hmm. Let our choices determine who stays and who leaves. Is that Weaver? The end? Is this the end of the game? This is... Look for me under your boot soles. The death of the hired man. Wow. I didn't realize that was just the end of the game, just like that. Interesting. Kind of caught me off guard. Well, it was definitely beautiful and sad. And there's a lot I could kind of... Well, I feel like I could try to unpack, but... Well, I can tell you this. It made me feel some things, that's for sure. It made me think a lot. I mean, I'm looking at the time I've recorded, and this is in between pausing it and continuing it from like the last couple days, I guess, or whatever. So I'm currently at this segment here, 1 hour and 47 minutes. It's probably one of my longest recordings. So, well, I guess I'm gonna go digest my thoughts and feelings about that. And then I think we'll have to play this chapter next and conclude this game and see what happens next. And who knows, maybe this is me wrapping up my whole quote-unquote let's play thing. But more on that later. Well, hey, I should really get to bed, so yeah, I should check on my son, see how everyone's doing, check on my wife, see how she's feeling with the whole being pregnant again, and maybe I'll head to bed myself. Hey, listen, whoever you are, whenever you are, if you can hear me, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. I know I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to Let's Play stuff. I gave a huge exposition dump that may reveal I don't really know a lot about anything, what I'm doing in my life. I'm just trying my best, always. But if you're watching this, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I guess that's all I really have to say. Thank you. And for you to take care of yourself. And yeah, I guess we'll wrap this game up, I guess, next time then. But until then, you take care of yourself. You have yourself a fantastic day or afternoon or evening or whenever it is for you. And yeah, I guess part of me will always be here, waiting, haunting this place. Until we meet again. But until then, I'll see you later.